Welcome to this week's Hymn of the Week. This week we have ELW 861, When Long Before Time, also known as the Singer and the Song. This hymn was composed for the 1981 Royal Canadian Organists Conference in London, Ontario, as I mentioned in 1981. So it has a specific purpose. And it's interesting when we look at the text, we see Peter Davison and music also by Peter W.A. Davison. But it was arranged in the style of the Oxford Book of Carols, which would make sense since it was an organist conference, by George Black. George Black was one of the coordinators or co-chairs of the conference in 1981. There are some things about the text that sometimes can get misunderstood. The first one would be in verse 1, when all was deep silence. This refers to creation out of nothing. And then also let's find the other one. In verse 4, though down through the ages the song disappeared. This refers to the fall and the faithlessness of the people of God. So sometimes this can be misunderstood. What's interesting is the music is set in the style of the Oxford Book of Carols, so quite hymn-like, but yet it functions more like a folk song that would be similar to something from a German singing society, or Meistersinger, for example. We have the Aufgesang, in this bar form, and the Abgesang. The Aufgesang being these first two lines that repeat. So same line again for the Aufgesang. And then of course the Abgesang, which is line B, so it becomes a bar form of AAB. So I'm going to interpret this more along the side of the Meistersinger, but also occasionally bring in that lovely accompaniment put together by George Black. So here is When Long Before Time. one thing about this hymn that I didn't mention is we do have the theme of the Trinity, and obviously it does work for the Sunday of the Trinity. So thank you very much for listening to Hymn of the Week.